of Communication Arts, Dr. Ike Nadioku.
This cannot be fixed at any better time than now. And I wish that what we are going to be discussing today will be, as I already said, impacting positively in finding solution to the problem that the country is facing today.
The next person that I'd like to invite is Dr. Ekwo. Uche is a professor of media and journalism at the City University of New York, the United States of America. Please, at this point, may I now invite Dr. Uche Ekwo to make his opening statement.
So this event is very, very, very necessary. When we conceived this idea, it wasn't necessary because we have so much resources to throw around. They will just think that we could offer some ideas to Nigeria, particularly someone like me. I think it's more like giving back to the community. I was made by this country. I will never forget that. As a matter of fact, my journey in the academic world actually started from here in IMT. For some of us, the idea of putting this gathering on is to generate new thoughts, new thinking, and new collaboration on how we can tackle this challenge. Sometimes young people are the tools used to exacerbate violence. So we must be conscious of that, and as an institution of higher learning like this, populated by young people, we must also, create that awareness. And having said that, the suggestion I want to make to the government of this country, and I want to give credit to the person that gave me this idea. I used to be the ambassador of the idea is this. I'm suggesting that we create a security trust fund. A security trust fund will be dedicated exclusively for us to be buying equipment, staffing the police system, and all that. And how do we fund this security trust fund? The idea is this. We can, like when I send $100 to anyone in here, the Western Union or whichever agency will charge me like $8. And that $8 goes into their pocket. I think that the government can liaise with some of these agencies. So think about how that far will go. I don't want citizens to be taxed. Otherwise, something like value added tax, we're already taxed enough. So let's get this money from this moving business. And let me tell you another thing I've discovered. There's what they call war remit. When I send money to war remit, if I send you like $2,000, right? We're paying 10,000 naira. Let's look into collect my money. You follow? Because they know they're doing business and they're making money. So can government not liaise with them to say they can get a bit of these solutions to help and invest in security? When I discussed with some government officials, some of them explained that somebody will embezzle the money. I don't know about that, but it is an issue. But I believe that this is a serious matter, and if we are serious about solving the problem, I have a feeling that whoever is going to manage that trust fund will be very careful. But the truth about the matter is that we're in a serious problem. I'd like to thank the Institute of Management and Technology for having faith, confidence in Available Foundation in collaborating in putting on this project. I want to thank the speakers. Some came from Abuja, and some of them will be joining us from abroad as well. It's really my pleasure to see everyone here, and I do have a very fruitful deliberation along the way. Feel free, share your thoughts, because we'll be able to put all this together and channel the ideas to the proper place. That's why we call it MEF Ideas Festival. So we want to harness the ideas, because ideas rule the world. It's not distinguished ladies and gentlemen. So I really thank you for this opportunity to share this thoughts. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ekwo is the chair of the Michael Ekwo Foundation. I'd like to invite to speak on behalf of the rector of the Institute of Management and Technology, who is unavoidably absent today, that's Professor Augustine Umweze. He had to travel this morning for a very important meeting in Abuja. But we're happy also that we have a principal officer in our midst. He's also a member of the IMT Governing Council, who will also give an opening statement this morning. I'm referring to no other person than Dr. Innocent Eze, the Chief Librarian of the Institute of Management and Technology. Please can we clap for him as he comes to give us an opening statement.
I want to welcome everybody to this very important occasion. On behalf of the Rector of IMT, Professor Augustine Umweze, members of management, council and students of IMT, I want to welcome my Ekwo Foundation and his team to this IMT. They are welcome. All the panelists that are here who are going to teach us one or two things about security. Please, you are all welcome. I'm delighted personally to be part of what we are doing this morning, because security is very, very important. So important and genuine in this country that you can't do anything if there's not. In fact, after food and water, security now follows. I am so happy. Just a few days ago, they were saying that issues about security matters will be introduced as part of school curriculum, right from primary school, secondary school, and then tertiary education. And that's a very good one too, because everybody has to learn more about security more than ever before. So this very discussion is very, very apt, in the sense that by the time we finish very place, from this very place, I think we have come up with ideas on how to move Nigeria forward security-wise. Like Ekwo Foundation came to IMT really, and they taught us how to secure it. IMT will secure it is all. Thank you so much.
Dr. Innocent Eze, thank you for the presentation. The next opening statement shall be given by the chair of this summit, the retired Commissioner of Police of the Abuja FCT, CP Lawrence Alobi, member of the Order of the Niger. Please, may we invite you over to this place, sir.
Member of the high table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our beloved students, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here today, to come back to my second home. I started policing in Enugu as a police constable. It was from here also I attended Suka, Body Sociology and Anthropology. Also in Enugu I read my MSc Global Studies in campus here. So I'm a brother and friend of Enugu. My pleasure. First, let me thank Professor Mike for finding it worthy to change this occasion. In the sense that I knew when I was PRO here in Enugu, 1987 when I was a police PRO here, then there was even Maxwell of them when they were in labor and daily trust and so forth. So it's very interesting that on behalf of the Mike Ekwo Foundation, in collaboration with School of Communication Arts, Institute of Management and Technology in Enugu, and I welcome you all to this Security Summit in Enugu, the cool city and capital of Enugu State. The summit is being organized by the Ekwo Foundation for Peace and Security, MEF, in collaboration with the School of Communication Arts, Management and Technology in Nubu. The theme of the summit is Security, Society, and the State, the striking role of government in national and personal security. The theme is very apt, humane, and all-embracing, considering the current security challenges confronting the country and the aspirations of the government of Nigeria. This summit is an intervention strategy to galvanize the citizens and all stakeholders with a view to collectively collaborating and working together to improve on the prevailing security challenges in Enugu State and the Southeast region in particular, and Nigeria in general. I want to especially use the opportunity to acknowledge and commend His Excellency, Right Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, the Governor of Enugu State, who is the special supporter of this summit, for his untiring effort and determination to ensure the protection of life and property, and also guarantee public peace and security for the benefit of good people of Enugu State. Section 14B of the 1999 Constitutional Amendment provides that security and welfare of the people shall be paramount purpose of government. Also, Section 24E of the same Constitution provides that it shall be the duty of every citizen to render assistance to appropriate local agencies in the maintenance of law and order. Now, if you propose, in fact, security, like democracy, is participatory. We all need security, all need to be secure. Even the ant, the smallest insect, the smallest creature. When I was in primary school, my headmaster would say, go to the ant, that's slogan. Consider her ways and be wise. If you see an ant, you see the ant, when they move together. And if you bring an ant here, when I was a boy, because we wanted to be queen of the ants, it's very fresh to roast and eat. We bring the ant here, within 2 days, what they do, they team up and build the ant hill. And that is what the ant is conscious of security. So every man is very conscious of security. In fact, security, like democracy, is participatory in nature, and nations are built on law and order. Consequently, if you don't oppose these two constitutional provisions, it will clearly be seen that security management and law and order is not only for the government alone, and the economic responsibility of the government, civil agencies, and of course the citizens. So when we holistically address the security challenges in a broad perspective, which include human security, food security, health security, energy and environmental insecurity, and of course the role of women in promoting peace and security. The need for unity and collective collaborative strategy and action for the promotion of peace and security is not only imperative, but it is indispensable. We hope that this summit will stimulate the spirit of shared responsibility and inspire us all for collective action in the promotion of peace and security in our various spaces and communities. The summit has lined up the Rhoda scholars, the proven expertise as speakers, and they will present papers on various areas. We also have knowledgeable and vibrant discussants who will help us in digesting, analyzing each of the papers to be presented. I want to especially commend Dr. Ekwo, the founder of the Ekwo Foundation, for his patriotic spirit and sacrifice and determination to make meaningful contributions in addressing these challenges in Enugu State in particular, Enugu State and Southeast and the country general. It is better to live in the service of others. And again, the Bible teaches us that blessed the peacemakers should be called children of God. I'm optimistic that we all enjoy the ambience, sonority, cleanliness, peace, and the warm hospitality of this people of Enugu, the famous city of Enugu, and of course, the Southeast region. Once again, on behalf of the organizers of this summit, I welcome you all, and also thank you for being part of this summit, while I look forward to a successful summit with an outcome that will impactfully and contribute immensely in improving security. Once again, wish you thank you.
Thank you again for that wonderful presentation. That was from the chair of the summit, CP Lawrence Alabi, member of the Order of the Niger. We're going to be listening to the keynote speech. That's the next thing that we have on our agenda. Please, let's welcome Mrs. Angela Ekeniwe, the special advisor to Professor Dave Nora Dangot, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's clap for her as she comes to make her presentation.
My dear people of God present here. Sorry, I'm not good at observing protocol, so I stand on existing word. I am here to represent distinguished Senator Professor Dave Nora Dangot, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing Southern Senatorial Zone of Plateau State, where I live. What she wants to talk on is women's role in peace building, governance, and security sector reform. I would like to first of all thank and congratulate Ekwo Foundation, MEF, the organizers of the inaugural Peace and Security Summit, for inviting me to this summit. It is a wonderful initiative and a positive and timely approach to our present security challenges. The theme, security, society and the state, the shrinking role of government in national and personal security, is apt, especially within the context of the current security challenges facing our dear country, Nigeria. At a recent meeting with the security chiefs, the Senate President said, "Insecurity is everywhere." I am quoting. "Insecurity is everywhere, and it is coming to the point of dislocating the security situation where government is quartered." End of quote. Security is therefore a concern for all. Now we come to the role of women in peace building. It has been a global concern which hinders peace building and good governance. The root causes of insecurity: 1. Poverty. 2. Struggle for scarce resources. And 3. Violations of human rights. For this reason, the needs and challenges to peace building require a wider and deeper definition of security that not only encompasses military issues, but also issues such as societal, economic, and environmental insecurity. In Nigeria, for example, the nation has been under security threats for many years, beginning with the insurgencies in the northeast region of the country, e.g., and has escalated, e.g., piracy in Niger Delta, armed robbery and kidnapping in the southern parts of the country, etc. It is therefore the women and children who take the brunt of the conflicts and wars, because during these conflicts, they are often exposed to unimaginable horrific atrocities like massacres, sexual assaults, kidnapping and sexual slavery, forced marriages and mutilations, rape, etc. If the population is threatened by unaccountable and poorly managed police, military forces, or intelligence units, if the proliferation of illicit weapons is not controlled, and if legal regimes are not enforced, perpetrators not persecuted, the building of peace will be elusive, that are almost unavoidable. This is obviously the scenario in Nigeria. Women are often viewed as victims of conflict. It is well known that violent conflict disproportionately affects women and girls and intensifies pre-existing gender inequality and discrimination. When the MC was introducing, he said he was beating his chest that they are gender sensitive. Yes, I don't think so. I am the only one sitting up here. So in conflict management and peace building initiatives and process, women and girls are largely invisible. In other words, as leaders, especially in helping to end conflict, developing post-conflict integration, efforts of economic life, and even in leading the organization of camps for internally displaced persons are often ignored. In conflict zones, women are active participants in cushioning the effects of the conflict that affect their activities in spite of being ignored. For example, they are often overwhelmed by their responsibilities and sometimes are the sole providers for their families. They also suffer disproportionately from sexual violence and displacement. Women are active agents of peace in armed conflicts, yet their role as key players is actually unrecognized. The women, as the source and roots of family, value has lost the direction because of social, economic, and health insecurity. The discipline she owes her children is compromised to crisis of expectation. He leaves them at the mercy of terrorism, kidnapping, etc. The COVID-19 pandemic, for example, has severely affected the economic role of the women in peace building, such as 1. Massive dislocation among small businesses. 2. Financial fragility of many businesses. Extreme poverty because of high risk of unemployment as well as income loss. Women who partake in peace processes usually focus more on reconciliation, education, transitional justice, and economic development. They also often speak up for excluded groups and the need to address underlying causes of conflict. The effective provision of security and maintenance of public order is one of the main requirements for sustainable peace and development. Strategies for peace building. The effective provision of security and maintenance of public order is one of the main requirements for sustainable peace and development. Recognizing the burden of long-term peace. 3. Eliciting plans for local actors for how to get a long-term peace. 4. Beginning the process of moving from conflict resolution to conflict transformation. 5. Identifying underlying causes. Peace building also includes conflict prevention, conflict management, conflict resolution and transformation, and post-conflict reconciliation. Strategic peace building, therefore, connects people and groups on ground, e.g., community and religious groups, grassroots organizations, etc., with policymakers and power brokers such as governments, banks, etc. The United Nations, in its Security Council Resolution 1325 in the year 2000, recognized the undervalued and underutilized contributions women make to conflict prevention, peacekeeping, conflict resolution, and security peace. It therefore calls for women equal and full participation as active agents in peace and security. Women's full and equal representation and participation of all levels of peace process and security effort should no doubt be part of security sector reform in Nigeria. In this regard, let me ask these questions. She's asking us these questions. That the woman has accomplished her role in peace building. This question can be answered running through the recent trend of security challenges before us. Somehow, it is generally accepted that women are not the primary perpetrators of violence, and as such, they are not significant in the discourse on peace and security. Their contribution is therefore restricted to trivial, cosmetic, or logistical contributions, indicating their status as wives and mothers rather than active actors. Evidence shows that when women are significantly involved in peace building and reconciliation process, they have higher roles of success, are likely to last. Efforts to resolve conflicts and resolve their root causes will not succeed unless we empower all those who have suffered from them, including especially women. And only if women play a full and equal part can we build the foundation. Can we build the foundation for a good governance, human rights, and justice? Evidence indicates that participation in the peace process are usually focused less on the spoils of war and more on reconciliation, economic development, education, and transitional justice. Women must play more pivotal roles in building peace from the bottom up as from the top down, engaging multiple stakeholders. Good governance. Good governance involves full participation of all citizens under democratic rule of law. It entails strategy, integrity, accountability, respect for human rights and women's rights. Section 2 of the Nigerian Constitution C states, the security and welfare of the people shall be primary purpose of government, and the participation of the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. If women are denied participation in governance, it means there is disproportional representation. I hope we are listening. It is therefore observed that gender sensitivity should be more felt in governance. In northern Nigeria, for example, male-female distribution of legislators is about 97% to 3%. It is slightly different, 90% to 10%. This is not laudable. As a woman, I am happy that Rwanda and Botswana have overall highest number of females in governance. No fastest growing countries in Africa today because of the role of women in peace building and governance. Are there women here? And you are not reacting. In conclusion, my Labour Foundation has opened a very curious and robust appraisal of the women's role in peace building. This appraisal has shown that women can contribute much more than they have been allowed to. As a wife, a family, as a professional and politician, she seeks to collaborate and participate actively as competitors in peace building. That's the end of my speech. Thank you very much.
So there's a lot of conversation that this paper has generated, and I believe that we're going to deal sufficiently with it during the breakaway sessions. Madam, I hope you heard me.
Yes, yes.
Because you raised a lot of issues, and funny enough, we had some prior conversations in regard. And one thing we came to the conclusion is that women appear to be their greatest enemy. Women are the enemies of women. They appear to be the greatest enemy. So you can't blame us. When you talk about disproportionate representation in government or in governance, whose fault is it? It's part of the conversation we will have during the sessions. But whether women play very critical roles in security, of course, definitely. Nobody can argue that. Women are very important to the family, and of course, the family is the first unit, first agent as far as society is concerned. And women are the holders of the family. Anybody can say otherwise, but I know that from my own classic example. Can you clap for women, please? Let's put our hands together for women. So women are very, very important.
Hi. Because when I could see never got the Ranyaka, I'm a new man on Siago. Oh, why, Jeremy, all I never read Jerry, Mamma. I hear by saying lack of what? Security. So now your people not be a catch. Okay, last time in 2 weeks time, who's a Jerry going to take it? I never wake kidnap one person and a poor prince. From there, those people who one woman that donated Mamia, they are donated Mamia, lose Umulumbe. Between Umulumba and our battle, I never made them compare the woman. I got my say by now, anyị na-asị biko na maka anyị na-ayọ unu bịa nyere anyị aka. Anyị na-ayọkwu biko unu nyere ụmụ nwaanyị aka na a na-emegbu ụmụ nwaanyị. A na-enye loonu niile a na-enye. Ngwere ka a na-enye ụmụ nwaanyị bịa asị ha ebe hapụ ya nọọ nwaanyị. Ndị ike enyekwu enye ha ewere ya na-eme gịnị? Ha ma nweta ike ikpuchi ya azụ duto gị na ha ji eme gịnị azụ ụmụ ha. Ndị na-asị biko nna ati unu biko unu asụrụ piripiri unu asụrụ sekere unu asụrụ gbagoro unu asụrụ gbada ihe anyị na-alụ unu biko bekene nu fesi enu ba anyị apụ Enugu steeti fesi kene ụmụ nwoke anyị enwebụ ihe ha ji anyị kpọrọ special these politicians enwere ihe ha ji ụmụ nwaanyị kpọrọ onwere ihe ha ji ụmụ nwaanyị kpọrọ nọọ abịa nkụta aka kụtabara anyị aka anyị sị na anyị anọzi na nkụta aka na anyị ga na-azọ gịnị anyị ga na-azọ nke anyị n'ọdụrụ ọzọ ma nwaanyị pụta bịa bụrụ president of Nigeria is it bad? ka a na-eje sineti ụmụ nwoke a na-adagiri gị nwaanyị kepụta na-edobe ya n'akụ ọ dị njọ ma nwaanyị abụrụ sinetọ ọ dị njọ? jekene Nigeria ma ebe onye bụ enwe nwaanyị ebe asị na nwaanyị a na-eje for senate no place unu jezie n'Enugwu anyị ebedebe egbuzi elu biko nna anyị biko nyeru na anyị aka na ụmụ nwaanyị need help special anyị bụ ụmụ nwaanyị unu ma na ụmụ nwaanyị na unu kwesịrị ịdị na-apa n'ofu mana ịmụ na ihe loonu a na-eme biko na a na-eme loonu unu wee gwe ịgba chekekwe na ụmụ nwaanyị ọkacha ụmụ nwaanyị anọ n'ime obodo na-alụ ọrụ ụmụ nwaanyị anọ n'ime obodo because beside ụmụ nwaanyị anọ n'ime obodo o nweghị ihe anyị na-emenwu maka ịnata gị ego kpọrọ onye fu n'ụlọ onwe ihe ị nwere ike ime nwere ihe ị nwere ike ime so biko anụrụ m n'ogologo okwu mkpọsa anyị ga-ekwu okwu anyị ekwu ogologo okwu na-ayọ unu biko the chairman of this occasion biko ana m ayọ unu bukwara otu ma anụma ji egwu n'arụ ọ ndị ọcha ọ ndị prezidenti maazị maka na prezidenti nke Naịjirịa sọsọ Chukwu na ihe ga-azụ anyị na-achịnụ mbiko unu nyere anyị aka ebe mmadụ bụ na ebe ụmụ nwaanyị nọ unu nyere ụmụ nwaanyị aka biko hepụ anụ ụmụ nwaanyị ka ihe ike soro ibe anyị na-aga ọ ga-adịrị anyị mma n'aha Jizọs.
She has just painted a picture of the challenges that women face, particularly in Enugu State. Number one, she said that women are no longer going to their farms. In fact, in my own community, we have that same challenge. We have that same challenge. Their farms are destroyed by cattle. We have had in my own community, women have been raped who went to the farm to go and cultivate. Most of these people are subsistence farmers. This is what they feed with. And it is impoverishing them because they can no longer cultivate in their farms. You know, so that's one major point she has made. And she said it is not just enough that their farms are destroyed. Sometimes they are also waylaid. They are molested. They are raped. Their own female children are also raped. And you can imagine the psychological trauma. Come and ask your question, Dr. Samuel Obejo.
This goes to the former police commissioner. The 1999 Constitution, Section 14B, provides that security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. I'm always baffled when president saying what is the cause of insecurity. We start mentioning hunger, poverty, kidnapping, and so on. What is the responsibility of this government that is responsible in protecting the lives and properties of nations? because actually you are going to answer it, but I want to know that I want to state that I know if you do right thing in your home, if you take care of your family well, all your children will be good in the society. Why are we now saying that the hunger, kidnapping, stealing, murders, raping are the root cause of insecurity? It might have originated somewhere. I want my commissioner to help us because he was once in the government. Thank you.
You see, like I did say in my welcome address, and which also the director did mention earlier, that security is a collective responsibility of all of us. But then, the family, which is the basic society, where socialization begins, the mother learns to teach your child, mama, papa. The mother learns to teach a child how to sit down and so forth, teach those basic attributes. If you look back, during when we were growing as children, moral values were part of what is part of the society, part of the law of the society. You can see a child and say, this is from this family. But now, parents are after the rat race. Everybody wants money and power. Parents have abandoned that basic role, spiritual role, trust. But we fail to counsel and guide our children. And when they fail, when I was a constable here in Enugu, along about the road, behind the police officers' mess, during the war, when they condemned armed robbers, they normally shoot them there. And when there was one armed robber was executed, he said, no, you want to talk to the mother after we give you the last sacrament. Before you are being executed, the priest come and give you the last sacrament. The boy said, I want to talk to my mother. When the mother came, he chopped off the mother's ear and said, when I go to steal, I'll bring to you, tell me, good boy, maybe to be a robber. So, parents, too, you see, we all have responsibility like Rousseau, John Locke, in their theory of social contract. It's a contract between the citizens and the government. That's what Section 24 I also mentioned in my paper says is concerned to every Nigerian citizen. But in Nigeria, our emphasis is my right. Trust. But we fail to counsel and guide our children. And when they fail, when I was a constable here in Enugu, along about the road, behind the police officers' mess, during the war, when they condemned armed robbers, they normally shoot them there. And when there was one armed robber was executed, he said, no, you want to talk to the mother after we give you the last sacrament. Before you are being executed, the priest come and give you the last sacrament. The boy said, I want to talk to my mother. When the mother came, he chopped off the mother's ear and said, when I go to steal, I'll bring to you, tell me, good boy, maybe to be a robber. So, parents, too, you see, we all have responsibility like Rousseau, John Locke, in their theory of social contract. It's a contract between the citizens and the government. That's what Section 24 I also mentioned in my paper says is concerned to every Nigerian citizen. But in Nigeria, our emphasis is my right. Blues, they leaves the flower in the tree, they don't fight. They dance and romance each other. We need unity of action, like I mentioned in my address. People in Enugu State, the governor is trying his best. To what extent have we ourselves made effort to contribute to the peace and security of this country? How have we been able to assist security agencies like the World Nation before in the Constitution? What is my role in the family? Am I contributing in the family? Am I assisting my parents as a child? You are a student, for instance. Are you trying to concern about your studies? When we were students, I never did the house of a lecturer. I never did the house of a lecturer. I just sit my phone on the board. We only meet in the classroom. But now lecturers want students to come and see them at home, buy them gifts, and so forth. So the society itself, the system itself, we have been able to bastardize the system. Am I contributing to peace and security? Am I coming to peace building? I'm not coming to the happiness and peace of my community, of my family. Like this academic environment, how we contributed. Like in the department, how we contributed. Sometimes children, when they want to appoint a rector or appoint a dean, they will recruit college boys in the school to fight each other. These are things that not the students they say this. So we are all guilty. So we need to reflect and say we want to redeem our country. We want to build a very peaceful society, a safe and secure for all of us. Can we have our lawful business without intimidation? But now you cannot go at night, you cannot go even in the day. Now you say, for instance, sit at home to achieve what? What are you going to achieve while sitting at home? To achieve what? How does it add value to your life? How does it contribute to your life? How does it contribute to the betterment of society? We need to reflect and ask ourselves. So the problem is we are the problem. Not the government alone. The government is not for it being provided. There's primary purpose of government. But the government cannot do it alone. Now Roshi will say, shouldn't contract. The citizens have a role to contribute. So we will have a role to contribute. And that's why this summit is being organized to consensitize everyone to know that we have a role. Collaborating, it's not competition, but called collaboration and cooperation. The desire to participate, community and security, to help us, if we all have that attitude and culture, to help us achieve peace in this country. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's so many things that can also be taken away from what you have just said. That is absolutely very important. That in the family, all of us, we have a role to play. All of us in Nigeria, we have a role to play. And that takes us to a critical question. What are those things that breed violence? Why do people create insecurity? It takes us to a very important question. Because can somebody who is sane-minded, suddenly pick up a gun and want to rob another person of his belonging or want to kill? So we need to be able to identify those things. I don't know if it is possible to do that within this Q&A, but I'd like us to begin to think about it for the breakaway session. Any other contributions? You have something to say?
Discussing the issues concerning women. There is a particular area of interest, an area of research that I'm interested in, and that's the area of unpaid care work. Unpaid care work. And unpaid care work. So, and I'm also interested, we talked about different dimensions of security. Financial security, food security, information security, and so on. In the areas of financial security, we are interested in the gender gap that is so disproportionately women are disproportionately shortchanged when it comes to financial security. Most women find it difficult to access loans, borrow money. Yet, research shows that women pay back their loan better than men. Yet, women are not given opportunities to access capital. It's a big problem that is affecting economic empowerment of women who take away the money and misuse it. So these are issues that women need to talk about. The issue of unpaid care work is a very disturbing trend. A lot of times, women take care of their husbands, take care of the kids, and the man just sits there waiting for food to be passed for him on the table. And the father-in-law is sick, the woman goes there to look after the father-in-law in the hospital. Subsequently, somehow, women think that or other society think that it's the job of women to look after sick people at home. Yet, these are things that man should have been able to pay for. If that woman is doing those assignments and nobody pays her. A man and a woman goes to work, come back to the same house, the man sits down, the woman has to go to the kitchen to start cooking, and the man is just waiting there, probably yelling and calling her names. Yet both of them are supposed to be tired. The society assumes that it's the job of a woman to cook and do all sorts of things. Then, even a woman and a man may live in the same house. The man starts getting higher education, and the woman stays there looking after the children. Nobody pays her for looking after those children. Yet, these are areas that women are not paid for. It may be difficult to say they have to be paid, but we need to recognize their role. That begins from appreciating that women are the pillars of homes and families. And like Commissioner of Police talked about too, some of these insecurity challenges emanate from poor family backgrounds. Not poor in terms of not having money, but lack of proper upbringing. When they are not brought up properly, then society, they go to the society and attack people and so on and so forth. And some parents also encourage their kids. They get some resources, they don't ask questions where you get that. They will be praising their kids, oh, you bought a big car and all that kind of stuff. The person may not be working. So those are some of the issues women may have to play with. So I'd like to talk about this unpaid care work. There are several jobs, several assignments women perform in the family. Nobody pays them. And not just even not paying them, but it's not properly acknowledged. Talk about women's involvement in peace and security. Women are very key. In fact, as some set of women from Liberia, this Sierra Leone, Liberia, got a UN award for their role in protecting peace in the country. They even had a Nobel Peace Prize, and that was 2014. And honestly, some of you don't know me, I come from Ekwo. I had the privilege of having a conversation with the women leader in that community. And I was told the role women played to secure the village health center. Something men had tried severally, they could not, because there's some kind of land dispute there. But the women made inroads. So women are very critical in peace and security. So most like
IDP Lawrence Amobi. He made it important. He made us understand that every unique member of the family and society have a role to play at ensuring security. That's the point, the critical point. And then Dr. Ekwo right now highlighted the challenges that women play. You know, we live in an African society. We have responsibilities. Women have their own roles, while men have their roles. That's the way it was designed. The patriarchal society. It is a woman's place to be in the kitchen. Even your president said so. In the other room and in the kitchen.
It's like a homecoming, because for years I was also a teaching staff of the Department of Mass Communication, IMT. I listened very attentively to some of the resource persons that have spoken. I also agree with Dr. Ekwo when he said that now parents no longer ask children where they are getting some of the things they bring home. Because I remember my mother was a lot taller than I am. She's still around and I'm happy about it. But when I was in primary school, if you ever come in with something that does not belong to you, a pencil, a paper, even a belt, anything, you're finished, because you must account for where that was coming from. It made us to understand that anything that wasn't purchased by your parents should never be seen with you. And that makes people to shun stealing. Today we see our politicians engage in monumental thievery. They steal so much and they don't respect public opinion. For us who are mass communication scholars, we believe that in a democracy, public opinion is the king, where you need to gauge the thinking of society, the thinking of people regarding a policy, regarding one thing or the other. Part of the insecurity plaguing and tormenting Nigeria is pervasive corruption. Corruption in high places. Who became ministers, special assistants, special advisors. The reason then was that Mr. President was thinking of how to get or sift out the best persons, the morally good men of Nigeria. Many years after, we see people who have stolen beyond expectation. Accountant General of Nigeria, we have been told that he stole so much for over 6 months. It does appear to me that the current government have no clue regarding the place of education in society. This is part of the reason why we are having insecurity. Because when youths are at home, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, what does it say? Let's stop pretending. I am over 60 a few days ago. I'm now in the 6th floor, or on the 6th floor. So I am not afraid to speak what I think is right. When you do not respect the thinking of this army of youths, when we play with their livelihoods, their future, it means that we are calling for trouble. And I'm so glad that today there is an ongoing meeting, like we've been told through the media, between the federal government and ASU. This progressively interminable conflict between ASU should end today. It should end today. And ASU should know that when you come to negotiation, you need dialogue, you need negotiation, we need compromise. This country is ours. Those in government, before they leave, because I'm happy with what I'm seeing through the social media. I know what had happened in Arab Spring. Some people are questioning what is happening. It's a huge movement. It's a huge movement. And I am a communication expert. I know what the social media can do. Let us not neglect it. Let us not begin to equate what is happening with NSAS. None of these 3 people was behind NSAS. Now some people are behind the movement. And they will continue to make, because we need change, positive change in Nigeria. We need a change where only patriotic leaders should lead Nigeria. We need patriotic people, we need youths, we need people who can think. We don't need people who are shaking and quaking. We need people who are cerebral. Now we are seeing problem in the southeast. We are seeing clergymen, bishops. Before the former prelate of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Uche, was kidnapped. We saw a seminarian recently kidnapped. So many bad things happening. Why? Poverty, hunger, insensitivity, unresponsiveness, bribery, corruption. Why is it that those who are holding political power cannot reduce the amount of money they are collecting as salaries? How come? How do you expect followers who see you display arrogant consumption pattern, display wealth that are stolen? How do you expect them to fail? This is part of the reason why there is insecurity. Having said that, security is for everybody. We must not wait till they kill all of us.
Okay, please can we put our hands together for the AIG as it comes to make a brief presentation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I want to lean on the existing protocol. We are here really to discuss about shared security partnership. That is to say, how all of us can collaborate to make security the issue. Because it is impacting on all of us. That is, insecurity is impacting on all of us from every angle. Whether you're a market woman, you're a businessman, you're a politician, whether you're in government, you're a student leader, everywhere you are, the farmer, we are all concerned. And has always been said that security is the business of everybody. So the only way we can go about it is by shared security partnership. In other words, you do your own bit, I do my own bit. Every other person, when we do our own bit, we get it right. Just like the Commissioner of Police mentioned that all of us will have to take the blame because somewhere along the line we have failed in our duties.
We talked about things you could not do when you were younger, and which if you do it, your parents will even deny you because you came home with a biro or even a chalk or even a textbook, but not anymore. Your mother or father or grandfather who is at home is waiting for you to bring him a car and say you just bought a car. He's not interested in how you came about that car. In actual fact, the next time you will be going to the church to go and do what? Thanksgiving. And in that Thanksgiving, you will invite everybody. Nobody is asking from which source did this man who left the village less than a year ago, how come he's here? That he has gone to Malaysia and he's just there for 2 years and he's sending you, the mother or the father, vehicle. That's very good. Everybody will celebrate it. Without knowing that your son there in Malaysia is a drug pusher. Is into Yahoo. Is into fizzling people's email and compromising them. But all you want to know is that your son is in Canada, is in America, is in Brazil. From there he will be exporting to Nigeria. That will get me and you mad. And we are praising him and going to the church to offer Thanksgiving service. But one of the areas where I'm actually concerned about is that many governors at state level, 36 of them, all over the federation, will always complain that the security is not their hand, it is in the hands of the federal government. But I disagree. I disagree with that because you have the police council, Nigerian Police Council, and it's made up of only the Mr. President, the 6 governors, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, the Inspector General of Police, and Minister of Internal Affairs. But if you check and see that the last time they met was when they confirmed the current IG as the IG. But if you go into the constitution, the composition is Mr. President, the governors of each state, Chairman Police Service Commission, Minister of Internal Affairs, and the IG. And it gives them the mandate of general supervision of the police. 1. 2, oversee of its organization and administration. And then the third function is to advise the president on the appointment of the IG. Each time they meet is only about number 3. So the governors, to some extent, have waived their constitutional right of making sure that this meeting holds from time to time, where you now discuss the general supervision of the entire Nigerian police. They have authority there, but they shy away from it. And then the second one, oversee its organization and administration, which is why many governors will tell you, I cannot give instruction to the Commissioner of Police. In my career, I served as Commissioner of Police in 3 different states. And that includes Taraba State, Akwa Ibom State, and Ekiti State. And I know in each of them you have a State Security Council. And that State Security Council will discuss issues. It is only when you now want to give the Commissioner of Police instruction that runs contrary to the Constitution or the law, and the Commissioner of Police will say, I won't do it. And it happens very often. Because a governor that is, say, for example, of the PDP will actually arrest that man because he's of the ANC. And when you say no, you say you have disobeyed the instruction. Why should I obey your instruction? What offense has he committed? I've had instance where a governor said I should arrest somebody in another party. And some of that was second that he said I should just say that he's a kidnapper. But how many people get to know about it? How many people even talk about it? It is when you now disagree because they're giving you an unlawful order, they now say that you disobey them. But at the Security Council meeting, where you have the Director of SSS, you have the Army Commander, you have the Police Commander, and others who are part of it, including the Secretary to State Government, these things are stated. The issues to be discussed are done. Your duty as the officer on ground, as the commissioner of police, to curb crime. It's not to commit crime, because when the governor asks you now to go and arrest the director of School of Communications, and you ask for what? You say, because his wife talked to my wife when they attended a village meeting. That is an illegal order. Why should you obey it? And when you do that, you now go and say you disobey this order. He has given you an illegal order at the peril of your own duty, of your own job. So I will not stake my job because of governor. In one of the states I would want to mention, I disagreed vehemently with the governor to the extent that he had to report me to Abuja, and Abuja summoned us. And when I explained it, Abuja said I should go back to and continue with my work. Because what he told me was absolutely illegal. But what did he do? That's the second part. Because even in the state here and other states, you find that because federal government is reducing the funding of the police, they now provide the vehicles. You know, as they say, who deserves the truth. So if the governor gives you the vehicle, if you don't obey him, he will no longer provide fuel or lubricants. Can you drive a vehicle with your urine? No. He has already started controlling you, whether you like it or not. So you now start bending the rules to suit him. But my concern is that the governors have waved and shied away from the responsibility. I would have expected, especially after the jailbreak in Kuje, that by now heads will have rolled. Heads ought to have rolled. How many months into it now? Nobody's being held accountable. So what is happening? What I saw was when the state president visited, he was asking the director, Controller General of Prisons, why there's no CCTV here and all that. It is not his duty to award contract for CCTV. It is that of Minister of Internal Affairs. So you are just trying to give a dog a bad name in order to hang. He said it openly. But I told persons who were around, say it's not the teacher of that man. It's like himself now. I start asking him, why is there no CCTV here? Is this his duty? Huh? Who is the director of works here? I think you have one. So why should you be asking him? Internal Affairs. So if anybody ought to award contract for CCTV, it is the duty of the minister. But the minister has not resigned. The person that's being queried is the Controller General of Prisons. If you award the man in charge of Abuja only, if you award the one for Abuja, will you award the one for Edu? Award the one in Oka? And the one in the Porakot? So what I'm saying is that so long as the governors are shying away from this insecurity will continue to be a problem, because this is a forum provided by the Constitution for them to meet and they query certain things the police are doing, and then the police will now say, look, you have not provided me with the wherewithal to do my duty. Now there's no provision even for you to apply for Keke Napeblo. Is there any provision? So these are institutions falling apart. Let me even tell you, some of us, including me, went to school based on federal government's loan board. Because the government had so much money. Because myself, my immediate senior brother, and the one senior, three of us were in university at the same time. My father was a teacher. Where would he have gotten the money? A primary school teacher. But because there was that provision that you can go to school and take what they call student loan board and you will pay thereafter. We all signed, but I can tell you that today I never paid $1. Why? Because the government never asked me, are you ready to pay? And the government is the one that employed me. Not that I left here to go and work in Canada or in Kaduna. Somebody working with federal institution. All he needed is to deduct it from my salary. Yes. But nobody was asking. And not just me, I'm sure it happened to so many others who are also here, who belong to my generation. I'm not talking of these ones, they drank big milk, we drank Akam when we were growing up. So you can see the difference. They're crawled on the rock. So my interest is that we are talking about shared security partnership. If the state government conduct election as a way into the what they call it local government and give them their due, the local government can now be able to do their own duty. But in most states, what you have are transition chairmen that never transit to anything. They stay there in perpetuity, being renewed. It's only in very few states you can be sure that the governor still corner those allocations. Or hijack, okay, that's a better word. So what I'm saying is that in shared security partnership, where the business of security is the duty of everybody, we're all stakeholders. There are persons who are society influencers, the traditional rulers, the chairman of town unions, the market women, president generals, and then youth organizations. Just mention them. Each and every one of them, they have one role to play if we can get this security issue correct. But my greatest fear is that every now and then, all you hear is that the security chiefs are meeting in Asoro. They can't solve that problem. Expect that you will get it right. No, it will never get it. They will never get it right. The other day, I read in the papers and I even saw on the social media where some persons were protesting that the National Security Advisor doesn't know what he's doing, and it's been there for 7 years. If you know that he doesn't know what he's doing, why don't you change it? But unfortunately, we don't reward positive actions. Otherwise, how can you understand it that the last Captain General of Federation, when he was due to retire, he was given another extended his term. The man has already stolen about 80 billion by that time. You now give him an extension. What do you expect him to do? To steal more because you have encouraged him. We saw that during the time of Burantai. He wasn't getting it right. His term was being extended. We saw that during the last IG, what's his name, Adamu. He wasn't getting it right. His term was extended. So these are some of the problems that are causing the the insecurity, etc. And of course, fiscal insecurity, which is the one that everybody seems to know. Those who are seriously charged by the Constitution regarding internal security is the police. But the fact is that for now, government has totally neglected the police as an institution. And until you get it right, because there is no society that doesn't have a police institution. But I can stand here and name at least 4 countries that don't have an army. But by 2012, when we were at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, we were there for a good 1 year to attend the course then. At that time, the Chief of Army Staff told us that the military are in 32 states of the Federation. But now I can assure you that even in 50 states, even though we have the funds, what you hear is that money has been dispensed for security. Where is it going to? Defense. Defense security is totally different from police security. Get it clear? It's not the same thing. So long as you cope, what of the Tucano jets? Where are they? Are they back in this IMT? Because I've not seen them flying and bombing the bandits out of existence. But by that time, you know, 1 billion was taken from our ecological fund or excess food account. And everybody hoped that once the Tucano is given to us. And they gave us how many of them? Have you seen them in operation? Nobody. So if it's packed behind your department here, let us know. Well, I believe it's packed somewhere, not being used. So the more you fund defense security, you are not getting it right because the people are not trained for that. When it starts bombing, then the land troops can move in and they'll be able to corner them as they run out. So like I've mentioned, until and when I hear that the report has been released and some heads have ruled because of the Kuje prison break, then I know that we are getting it right. But so long as we keep sweeping it under the carpet, something tells me and tells you that something is wrong and the institutions are breaking down. It becomes a case of things fall apart and the center can no longer. There was a country. Thank you.
Big session. There was a country. I actually made some notes. That was prepared AIG of Police, Felix Osita Oyana. This is a key room also to just give us one sentence of thanks. Just to say thank you. Yes.
I am so happy to be part of this summit on security. I also want to thank each and every one of us that made it possible to be here. We really appreciate it. I also want to thank those who presented. I so much believe that we all are able to learn one or two things from their presentations. Thank you all.